Rolling?
Rolling, baby.
We're rolling?
Is that a wig or that's your real fucking hair? Congratulations.
Oh, bro. Let me show you.
Congrats.
Look at this.
It is real.
That's some of the best hair in the UFC right there. That's
It is. I will say it's the best hair.
I mean, that is a perm. That's you got that done. Did you sit under one of those things where they blow it out?
I did it once.
Yeah.
It looked crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's you know what? And you're a tough guy. That's a lady's haircut, but I say that with a lot of love. I mean,
I can pull it off.
yeah, you can.
I got
You're
myself-
right now. You're a non-binary. You look non-binary. Do I have to wear these things now?
I mean, if you want,
I hate
you don't
these
have to.
I don't want it to throw my hair off.
I mean, and it's growing pretty nice.
Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that.
I don't agree when your circle of friends tell you to shave it.
Bastards.
Tell them to go and fuck themselves.
Thank you,
You
dude.
just rock like that.
See? Cheeto says keep it. Cheeto says it's good.
I mean, you get a tiny fade on the sides.
Maybe. Or just get a hair transplant. That's what I want. When are they going to be able to clone hair? That's what I want.
Where is that? There's one city that hit. Is Turkey?
Bro, they already offered it. I got to promote. I'm not going all the way to Turkey. I'm not that vain. But my buddy's 61. He's on TRT now. Holy shit, that stuff works. Bro, he's jacked. 61. He did 10 sets of 15 with 25 pounds hanging down, like doing pull-ups. I was
From
like,
his balls?
yes. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What is going on here?
Are
10
you
sets.
on TRT?
No, I've never done it in my life.
Oh, so you're fully clean.
I'm 100% natural.
But
Let me
that's
show you
a-
what I'm working.
Let me see.
No, I can't now because the camera's
We
there.
can cut it.
All right.
I'll
show you
there
later.
where they did it.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
No, but it's. I mean, I don't know. You got to do it right. But I'll get on it.
I heard if you wait till you actually need it, is the best way to do
That's
it.
what I'm doing because I don't need it. I have too much energy. Honestly, that's why I don't want to fuck with it. And I've been to the doctors, like when they look under your hood. I've gone to the Tony Robbins Center, all those where they give you everything, and they're like, dude, my testosterone's high as fuck to begin with, and why mess with it?
I mean, you look like a male, like a proper male,
That's what I like to hear, dude.
like a real male,
Like a real
the
man.
staple of a real man.
And you're producing estrogen as you look at me, and that's what matters.
No, like I don't think you should use it. I mean, once the antenna doesn't go up
Yeah.
and the
that's
radio is not sounding,
That's it.
then got it.
That's exactly right.
Because I feel when people go before that just to have a little extra, by the time it goes away, you're fully on zero.
My wife is 23 years younger than me, which is creepy, but very hot, so I don't have any problems with that.
How old are you?
57. She's 34. She's a full-grown woman, but
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
When you met her? 20
I
years
got-
ago?
2 years ago. I've
Oh.
been married already.
Oh, no, how many times?
Twice. So the first time I was married, I have 2 kids with her. I get along great with her and kids, but my kids there are 12 and then 16. And then I got remarried, and now I got a 2-month-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh, shit.
I know, bro. I'm like a rapper, or like I got kids, 4 kids.
So what were your rapper name?
God, my rapper's name would be Miles Long. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Mile long,
Yeah.
few inches
It's
up
not
and
even a
down.
rapper. Not even a good rapper's name. Miles Long.
Yeah, I gotta start with Lil.
That's a
Lil
porno.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miles Long is a porn.
Yeah. I think my name would be something like a sound. Ha ha. What's your name? Ha ha. Ah.
You should sing, bro. For
Thank
real.
you.
I think you should start singing.
I was singing all the way down here.
Oh, really?
But I can't sing.
I saw.
I when I was on Rogan one time, I said to him, and I've done this with my friends, I go, sing Silent Night. Try that right now. And sing it. Try to do it in earnest. You can't. It's fucking hard to hold a note.
I can sing for shit.
It's a
I
muscle.
try.
It's a muscle.
Like there's a song that I love, or many songs that I love, and I go in the car and I go like, I sound like shit.
I know. It hurts me.
It's embarrassing.
Well, one of the frustrating things about life is that you want to do everything, right? I've talked to comics, my buddy Dov Davidoff, and like he would give it all to be able to fight like you. Like just be able to understand that language on that level, stand in the pocket, hit, wrestle, all that shit, and then to fight in the big, in a cage on the biggest stage, it's very rare air, right? But then you see somebody dancing, and you're like, I want to fucking dance. You see somebody singing, I want to sing, and most of the time in life, everything is a dark room, and you can get a flashlight and look around, but most of life is a mystery. But in my opinion, if you get really good at one thing, you'll understand life. You'll just understand it.
Just because the fact that how hard it was for when you were nothing on it and you make it happen, that's your life. That's one little thing is your life.
That's right.
You make it your life. But you're right. Like I go on YouTube and try to learn how to do salsa.
Me too.
Just to have better rhythm
Bro,
of fighting.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I do that. I swear to God.
Like I have a playlist only with like 40 of my favorite salsa. Like I love salsa. Like I listen to salsa. I know word for word. I sing it, but again,
yeah,
it's a nightmare.
But you actually practice it.
I try a few times with my wife.
So can I just tell you so every Sunday, my friends, they're a couple, they come and teach me and my wife salsa. You and your wife should come on a Sunday.
I'm down, 100%.
I mean, it's only 40 minutes from here.
With a coach,
you and your wife,
better.
you should surprise her. We have a coach. It's a man and a woman, and we go over it. And then you do that if we do that 5 Sundays in a row, bro.
Oh, I'm killing it.
You know what I'm
with
saying?
This her?
You know what? Yeah. Now you don't have my hip movement. You're not as fluid as I am. It doesn't matter. It's not a competition.
Eventually.
Relax. It's not a big. Don't look at me. Just pay attention to your shit.
It will be hard to do it with you. It's gonna become a battle. Like a battle rap.
100%, bro. It's gonna be because I know you're competitive as fuck.
And check this out. Me and my wife she will cut me on the lie. It wasn't 100 times. We tried like 5 times. It was so fucking hard because it's left, right,
yes,
right, left, and then when they go, like the first 2 movements, like step in, step out, I get it. But then when it becomes a rhythm,
yes,
you need a
you
coach.
Can't think. You have to feel it almost, right? It's like and there's the only way to do it is to be shitty in the beginning, and then pretty soon you'll start to feel it and you fall into the rhythm.
I'm the most uncoordinated motherfucker out there.
But you're not. You just would have to. Once you get it, you get it.
Exactly.
You ever see people who punch for the first time? It's unbelievable. I don't care what kind of athlete they are.
Give me a combo, Roddy. Come on. See that? That's how I look. That's in salsa.
It's not bad though. I've seen way worse.
Yeah, but he's been
way worse.
He's been around fighting his whole life.
Yeah. That's not bad. But you see guys who've never done it, even great athletes, and they're doing shit where they're just like.
I mean, and the other thing with salsa, I will put YouTube on the living room TV, and I will grab my lady. I get horny. It would take me like half a song. I'm like, baby, let's go to the room. We're making a 4 kid right now, or at least we try.
You got 3?
I got 3.
Dude, you're right behind me.
Yeah, one more. I know, but my old house, we were short 1 room, so that the girls will share. Now, it's perfect. I feel if we.
No, you can stay with 3. Please don't. I'll tell you, that's an old man. I'm going to give you this. You won't listen. Nobody does, and it's okay because I wouldn't have either. But if you can stay married, first of all, a huge accomplishment. Oh, you'll save yourself so much money and angst.
Energy.
Bro, if you can stay married. And then...
that's when the hairs started going away.
Man. And then at the other spectrum is stay married and then like 3 kids, just stay there.
Family of 5 is perfect.
Perfect, bro.
Like
for a car, for all that shit.
Me and my wife, we always talk about like every time I see a newborn, I go, fuck, I want one.
I know.
And sometimes we talk about.
So come to my house, play with I got a 2-month-old for you. You just come over and then you can leave.
Like, I mean, that's what I do with kids friends, but like. And we get it. We won't have a 4th one. At least not that we plan. Just a few punches in the stomach here and there. Every
once in a while.
Every month.
Just
baby.
In case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Get those fucking fallopian. How you call those?
Fallopian tubes.
Yeah, just
twist those up.
Just hit them really hard. But like, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, we cannot have a 4th one. And we have a false alarm once. I was like, then when I realized, like, I'm not having a 4th one.
Yeah.
3 is perfect. Like now they're old enough.
When you have kids, though, you're right. You just love them so much. Like I'll see other kids on the plane that you just love them.
Yeah, you just want to on them because it's 13, 9, and 6.
Oh man.
So it's like a brand. Now we finally passed the time that they can be on their own. They can go get food. They can clean. a brand new one right now, we'll start over. It's like, nah, we
Yeah,
cool.
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of fucking
And
work.
it gets in the way of intimacy. It's like, it's a lot with your wife. She's being drained.
It took, yeah, like the first year, you're like fucking making appointments to fuck.
Bro, exactly. Like, and then she's tired,
Yeah.
It's like,
But that don't happen with the male. Sometimes I can be drained training camp, cutting weight.
I'm still ready to go.
I still have a piston. It's a fucking bullet.
I keep no, all bullshit aside. That's why I'm not getting on TRT at 57. Like I said that to Rogan one time. I was like, I fucking just I don't I could fuck all the time. I could be a
Every
porn
day.
star. And he goes, I think my testosterone's really high. He goes, no, you're just a pervert. There's a difference.
I believe that too.
I mean, come on.
Like I can be drained. Like sometimes I came home, bad mood, get in a fight. I'm not eating, but 9 p.m. comes around. I'm like, hey, put all this shit aside. Yeah, but you say this and that. But like, I know, baby. I say all that. I'm sorry, but I still want
It's time to fuck.
procreate. It's time
That's
to
right.
fuck.
Yeah.
And she laughs. Like, that's how I make.
How long you been married?
Fuck, my whole life.
That's great, dude.
We met on 4th grade.
What?
Yeah.
This is the secret, bro.
And we start dating on high school. And
So this is your best friend.
she's my homie. Like the shit I'm a comedian at home. The shit I told her, the way she laughed,
Yeah.
I wish I can record that shit sometimes because it's just like, and that's the easiest
Well, dude,
way.
you're funny in English, so that's crazy to be. That's one thing I noticed about you is that English is your second language, and you're hanging with us. You're hanging with comedians, and you're confident. I'd never be able to in a different language, but I can't imagine you in Spanish. I can't imagine it.
But I will be canceled most of the time.
Thank God. That means you're funny. How about that? Fucking, if you're safe, fuck off.
Yeah, like
I say the craziest shit now.
I told everybody, all my friends, when I hear something like they're not getting along, I'm like, the easiest way to fuck is make your lady laugh. That bitch laugh, you just go like a
100%.
That's the secret of life.
Because you're more fun to be around. I remember that. I remember when I was always a silly goose, and I was always, comedian, and my girl, I was dating this girl, and then she ended up dating a stud. In fact, he was one of People Magazine's sexiest men, or whatever the fuck. And I was like, geez. And then she would come back to me, and I said to my buddy, I go, guy's way better looking and everything else. And my buddy looked at me, he goes, yeah, dude, you know why? I go, why? He goes, you're more fun. You're just more fun to hang out with. You're funny.
That's everything.
And I was like, that's a secret weapon. You might be a regular dude, but if you get them laughing,
that's everything. That's everything.
Yeah.
I
think women are attracted to an energy, right? So like, I think part of it is like, one time my wife, so funny because she's younger, but we were talking and I was working on a creative problem for this company, for this brand. I was coming up with their marketing, kind of plan. And then she's talking and I went like this. I went, I got it. She goes, what? She goes, I came up with the idea. And then she goes, you're so hardworking. And I go, I am? She goes, yeah, it's a turn on. It turns me on. Like, she loves my hustle. She loves the fact that I'm always grinding, and I think that's a huge thing for women. When they see a motherfucker who's like,
on it.
Yeah. Like it's an expression in the eyes.
They don't want us, anyone that is slacking, they don't want to be around that.
But I'm that way with women. I like hustling a woman. Like I like seeing a woman like who's worked her whole life. Like I'm way more attracted to a woman who's had to make her own money, owns her own house, has that hustle, who's tough. Nurturing. I want to nurture. Right. I want a woman. But if I can see like I don't like laziness. I hate lazy and entitled.
Yeah. I mean, even that's the way I see my own circle. If I have a friend, a best friend, family member, that they just like kicking rocks and they just complaining, I'm like, fuck you. Because most people try to like go behind and push them. They drown you. They will tie the same anchor to your ankle and sink with you. I'm like, fuck 100%. You don't want to go up, go and fuck yourself. I want to go up every day. And most of the days, you don't wake up hard. You don't wake up because it's motivation. That shit comes and go.
Yeah.
But when you're disciplined and you're hungry and you have passion about whatever the fuck it is, I love that. Even if it's silly, even if at the beginning everything looks dumb.
Yep.
But if you say fuck it,
That's right.
I'm a fan of that. And goes with men, with women, with kids, with everything.
Well, what you do is the pinnacle of all that. I mean, it's just MMA is especially on the level that you've got yourself to is I don't think there's just not enough time in the day to be good at everything. It's impossible. And staying injury free and keeping and sucking weight. Like, people don't realize that. We were talking about that. Like, I was just with some amazing football players, the best, like in the NFL, George Kittle and those guys. And they're incredible athletes and great guys, and they work really hard. And they've been playing for 8 years, and they deal with injuries and stuff. But man, you make a lot of money, and you have an off season, and you have a whole team, and you have a lot of things. I'm not taking anything away from what they do at all. But then there's fighting, and that is a solitary fucking endeavor.
It's
man.
a wolf sport. It's like you gotta climb that mountain on your own. Go on
No
the
money.
snow. I mean, I talked about this before. My first, I know, I remember exactly my first 10 fights. My debut as a pro, because I don't even have an amateur career. That don't exist in Ecuador. My first fight, they went like, "Hey, dude, next week the main event fell off. You're talking that your dream is to be in the gypsy. You wanna get in there with a pro." National kickboxing champ, been around for years, Pan Am's champion in karate.
What?
And I went, fuck, what's the worst gonna happen? I say, yeah, sure, I take it. My dad paid my flight. I told my mom and dad I was competing jiu-jitsu, so they signed the waiver thinking it was jiu-jitsu. I flew with
How old were you?
I was 17, just turned 17. And I remember the way I used to talk about this is like, dude, I'm gonna win this fight, and the UFC is gonna notice me. This is how far I was lost. And then I show up. I didn't even ask how much I'm getting paid. I just said like, fuck, this is my dream.
Mm-hmm.
Someone think about me. But they weren't thinking about me. They brought me in to go to spin wheel kick in my face because this guy
That's
was
right. You were a feeder fight, yeah.
this guy was a legit kickboxer. Thank God his grappling wasn't very good. And it wasn't like I was a world champion. I was a blue belt. My experience was a double leg
so
with my. If you see a picture of me, it's somewhere on the internet. I had long hair, no tattoos, and I was wearing Brock Lesnar shorts. What was the brand? It wasn't Metal Militia. Those are the Diaz shorts. Warrior, the black and white with elastic.
Just a skinny, long-haired kid.
I look like a fucking idiot. There's like huge shorts. All the fights went through, and I was on my. This is in the back of a mechanic shop. They put a curtain with a metal line.
Jesus.
The cage was, it looks like a fucking where the losers fight. It was the same metal they put around. The pulsar mats, the 1-inch ones. Everybody was getting cut because the metal was coming up.
Fuck.
And I was like, okay, dude, I'm here for my debut. What's up? And like regular hand wraps, one pair of gloves for the whole event. And they told me, you're fighting a kickboxer like a kid like you. And I was looking the whole time for this.
Scumbags, they feed you.
Oh yeah.
They want a highlight reel.
Yeah, exactly. So I was looking for this skinny 70-year-old and a bunch of just old men. And this is on a different city. And I was like, where's my opponent? Where's my opponent?
And where was this?
In Quito, in the capital of Ecuador. So I flew in the same day. No weigh-ins, nothing. You just show up and fight. And then there was this fucking guy. Dark skin, ripped, dreads, cornrows backwards and shit. And I was like, that's not my opponent. And I saw him hitting mid. And I was like, he was just so snappy. Boom, big kicks. And I was like, that's not my opponent. I can sign my life, that's not my opponent. First fight, second fight, third fight. I was still looking for this skinny fucking kid. It looks like me. And I went to the promoter, which is like an owner of a gym. I was like, yo, dude, where's my opponent? Oh, yeah, it's that guy right there. And I was like, the guy that this whole time I was saying there's no way it's my opponent. So, yeah, that's your opponent. Yeah, he's just a kickboxer. You can take him down. I went, dude, you told me I'm fighting a kid.
You take him down.
Yeah, right? So, fight star.
So now you got to fight him.
I was the main event. No one told me that either. I thought it was the first fight of the night.
Unbelievable.
I told my jiu-jitsu friend back in the day, I was like, dude, I don't want to fight. He's like, bro, we're already here. I'm like, dude, that guy's going to fucking kill me. He said, it's okay. no warm up, any knowledge about anything. I was just like, okay, fuck it, let's do it.
You didn't even warm up.
I didn't even know what to do. I don't have like a jump rope or nothing. I just wrap my own hands.
So dangerous.
Exactly. That's how
So
people get hurt.
dangerous.
And that was my first fight ever.
Unbelievable.
I got in the cage.
You can't feel your legs. You're probably so scared.
By the time I was in the cage, I was already breathing. I was like, what? And Quito is like Mexico City. It's high altitude.
Oh, you can't breathe, dude.
So first round start, I get in there. That guy comes out, spinning wheel kick, and I can just feel the air going like this on my hair.
Yeah.
I threw like 2 punches like in the air, get a hold of his legs. He pushed me away, threw a body kick, and I was like, what the fuck was that? He grabs me and judo throw me, makes me fly in the air. I started beating my ass. Somehow, I swept him, get on top, and I didn't know the rules. I took his back and I started throwing elbows like this, like UFC 1 style.
Yep.
They stopped the fight. I was celebrating. Like, no, that's illegal. Go to your corner. I was fully gassed out. I was out of breath.
Fully gassed.
My legs were gone. And I went to the corner. I told my friend, dude, take me out of here. Take me out. Call it. Take me out of here. He said, like, no, dude, don't be a fucking bitch. And then referee went, blue corner, you ready? I said, like, sure. He kicked my ass for a few more minutes. Round was over. I went to my corner and I told my friend, dude, just fucking call it. I don't want to do this. Thank God he kept pushing me. I went to the second round, took him down, and I armbar him.
Unbelievable.
And there's a picture of the armbar. He was fully bent. The guy didn't want to tap out because he knew if he would escape that armbar, I wouldn't be here right now. My career would be.
But you know what's interesting about that? There was something about that kid who's 17. There was something about that kid who knew last second to do this when the wheel kick came. Something about that kid that knew just last second, how to get him down, how to get behind him, how to catch that armbar. So you had a natural gift. That's like you can't teach that. Desperation bred success, but desperation brought the real fighter out in you. Like you can tell there. You're like that 17-year-old's got something.
And then fight was over. The promoter came to me. He handed me $80. I went
$80 fucking bucks for the title fight. You piece of shit.
Few fights, few tens, and I was like, "What do I do with this?" We went back to the airport, straight to the airport, no shower, nothing. Paid the taxi. I was already 20 under. Get home. My mom was like, "Mijo, how was the jiu-jitsu tournament?" Well, it's my first pro fight, Mom. I'm sorry. My dad was like, "What the fuck, fighting? We told you we don't want you to fight." I was like, "Well," I said, another lie. I said, like, "I didn't know that. They asked me." I won. My whole family was just making fun of me.
When did you know that you were, like, I don't know, that you could really do this?
So when I started training jiu-jitsu, my first class, I walked to the jiu-jitsu black belt. He's a Brazilian. He's still around. He's the reason MMA was born in Ecuador, because this guy came and he teaches jiu-jitsu, and he was coming from like the Demian Maya gym.
Wow.
He always took third on the big tournaments, but he was against Galbao, against Jacare, so he was in an era that he was born on the best of the best, right? Marcelo Garcia. When Alliance was dominating the world in jiu-jitsu, this guy that came to Ecuador, which he was my first coach, he was in that scene.
Circle, wow.
And inside the circle. Like, Demian Maia will fly him out for his big UFC fights to, like, as a training partner.
He's a killer.
So he knows everything. So he came to Ecuador and he made fighting cool. He will fly by himself to other countries.
So cool.
And just go and win with jiu-jitsu like Royce Gracie back in the day. So, like, I heard about him and I was like, I want to be a fighter. So my first day in the gym, you know how people start training and they fall in love? I went to the gym telling everybody, like, I'm here because I want to fight the UFC.
See, right there, just that mindset is anybody else who's there is going to lose. That's a different mindset.
It is because it's not like I start to train and then eventually get good. I show up. I was smoking cigarettes outside the gym with
Doesn't matter.
with my white belt and my gi, tied it on
But
there.
you had a mission.
I was on a mission. They used to,
That's how I was with. I remember I went to theater school in New York, and everybody's in acting school in New York, right? I mean, it's like this huge thing, and I'm like, and I remember I was like, I just knew that there's no way that I was not gonna make it. Like I was like, the chances are so small. But I was like, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, all you motherfuckers are gonna quit, and I'll still be doing this. You know, like
That's
I could
what it
tell
did.
because that was my mindset.
I saw guys going from white belt to black belt, and they're gone now. I show up the first day. I told the coach, the professor, I'm like, hey man, I'm here because I want to be in the UFC, and he's like, okay, I need you to calm down. He's like, you want to do a try week, and I'm like, no, I brought a check. I brought a 60 because the month was $60. I brought a check, and I'm like, I'm paying today. He's like, are you sure you don't want to try a few classes? I'm like, no.
No, I've made my mind
I'm
up.
here to be in the UFC. And then once I started fighting, and then a year later, this was my first fight, the one I just told you. And then I went to my second fight. There was, you know, how like few rich guys go to the morning class. Most of them were like, hey, dude, because I had my kid right after that. I have my kid like a 17 and a half. Like a few months later, my girlfriend, which is my wife now, got pregnant. And all these rich men were like, hey, dude, I can get you a job that you can make $500 a month. And back then, that was like a huge start for a job. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm going to make it to the UFC. He's like, dude, no one's going to call you from the UFC. That no one watches the UFC here. The UFC doesn't go to Ecuador. I say, that's fine. I know something you don't know. It's just that feeling.
It's that feeling.
And
It's
then-
that you have to do it.
And they might start like hitting up every promotion in South America. It's like, just give me a poster with my face and someone else's face saying that I'm fighting on this date, and I will go around and ask people to pay for airfare and hotel. And I would tell these promoters, I fight for free. Don't worry about paying me. It's like, yeah, but we don't bring international guys. You don't have to bring me. I will show up. So there was a point that I have lined up like 10 fights in a row. And I will just, few will fall off, few whatever. And these promoters hated me because I will hit them up every fucking time. Like, hey man, you have something for me? No, right now.
Hustle, man.
Just like crazy hustle. I'm like, yo, I saw you have an event on June 6th. Can I be there? It's like, we don't have an appointment for you. I'm like, dude, get me anybody. That's why most of these fights, they found me the hardest fight.
And did you win them all?
I was 6-1 before the UFC called me.
Damn.
But it's still little experience. When the UFC called me for the Ultimate Fighter, I wish I had 10 more fights. Because by the time I was in the Ultimate Fighter, there was no way back. I made it to the Ultimate Fighter with 6-1 record.
That's so crazy.
No experience, no amateur record.
That's crazy.
And-
That's crazy.
And I was losing my fight in the Ultimate Fighter. I lost the whole first round. I was losing all second round. And I don't know if you remember that KO, that heel kick I threw from the ground.
No.
I was on my back, and I threw a crazy kick. I was losing the whole fight. Dana and Lorenzo just speak the word. Were like, what the fuck? That's crazy KO. Then, because I didn't know also how to cut weight, I make the mistake of the 7 weeks in the Ultimate Fighter. I keep my weight at the 140 when I don't weigh that normally. But I didn't know when I was fighting.
So you weren't eating. You weren't doing it.
I was starving myself for weeks. I will eat 2 eggs in the morning, 2 eggs at night.
Dude, that's it?
That's it. Nothing else. Just water. And you know, in the Ultimate Fighter, they bring you a list in the morning, and you can put everything you want. They will bring you anything you want. And they were like, dude, it's everything for free. You can ask protein powder, best brands, steak. I say, a box of eggs, a box of eggs, a box of eggs. So after I won my first fight, something on my on my immune system was so depleted and so low that I create this. It's called herpes zoster. My whole entire body was covered on this like kind of like, you know, when you scratch yourself and you have these marks.
Yeah, blisters or whatever.
Blisters. My whole body, I look like a fucking monster.
Oh my God.
So they sent me to a specialist. Then I was like, dude, you can't be here like this. I was crying, please let me fight, please. They bring me to a specialist. This doctor was like, look, dude, because they took a piece of a biopsy, that's a piece of a skin. So look, dude, you're fucked. The way you look in the outside, that's how your organs look in the inside. And they told me, if you go and cut weight for your semifinal,
you could die.
The doctor told me, you will die. I said, doc, just let me fight. It's like, dude, this is not about fighting or your courage. You will die. So Dana people picked me up. They took me straight to the office. He said, look, dude, you're not fighting. We're pulling you out. I started crying. I was insulting everybody. I was like, this is my fucking dream, blah, blah, blah. I need to make this money for my daughter for the surgery, blah, blah. I said, look, dude, I will give you a fight on the final. I will sign you. I will give you a 1-fight contract. Calm down.
He said that.
He said that. So
I love Dana for that.
Dana is a man. I praise him.
I love
a
him
lot
for
of
that.
people hate him for many reasons.
Nah,
I love that.
I like that guy.
The hustle that he have, I copy a lot of that in my own life because when he started, the UFC is not what it is today.
Yeah, I know.
Everything
He took
did.
huge risks. He's a ballsy motherfucker, man.
His attitude is the
love him.
attitude that anyone should have in any business in the world.
So you couldn't fight, and then he gave you a fight in the
He
UFC.
gave me a fight on the final day.
That kind of desperation, man, is really hard to beat.
And I lost my first fight in the UFC.
Fuck.
And then I went back to Ecuador. I should go straight back to Jackson's where I was, but I decided to stay in Ecuador. That was my rookie mistake. I won my second fight, and I get a bonus. And I thought, oh, I can win training in Ecuador. And then I went again and lost my third fight. Sean Shelby, and this is in London. Sean Shelby came and said, look, dude, I like you personally. I want you here, but I'm going to give you one more chance. You lose your fourth fight, it's a wrap. And back then, there's no way back to the UFC.
There's no way back.
Now you can go back, do a few
Sort
fights,
of. But
in
it's
a way.
hard, man.
But back then, you were done.
Pressure.
And back then, I had not even a bank account. I was making 8 and 8.
Damn.
So
Pressure.
what I did, the pressure is heavy. And I'm still not have the money for Anna's surgery. So my
I didn't know your daughter needed surgery.
she's born with something called Mobius syndrome. So there's a surgery that they do to give you a smile and better mobility in your mouth because the whole face is paralyzed.
Okay.
So back then,
How's it working now?
now she can speak better, she can move her mouth better.
Good.
Because they make a cut in the whole hairline and they attach these muscles that don't work to the ones that they do work in the, how you say this part?
How old is she?
She's 13.
You've been through some shit.
A little bit. And when I was in London, my flight to Ecuador was the next day on Sunday. So I told my manager, I'm like, hey dude, can I move with you? And he just looked at me like kind of like, sure. But like he could say no. Because now we're friends. Back then, I was just one of his clients. But he would fly to all my fights. And back then he had only like 4 fighters. So the fact that he was flying to my fights, he liked me or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will have to ask him. But like he would come to all my fights. And back then he don't have much. So we just know each other from texting because I was in Ecuador. And I lost this fight. We were in the bar and I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, I think I'm gonna move to Cali. He's like, well, I'm like, I'm gonna go from here to Cali and find a gym because I'm lost. I don't know how to win. Like I have all these
No, you need coaching.
real, right?
Yes.
So I told my manager, like, it was like 3 a.m. and I was like, dude, can I change my flight with you tomorrow? And he just, I can see the fear on his face, like, to my house. I'm like, dude, I have nothing. I can pay for some food, but I don't have nothing. I have the $8,000 I just make and whatever. So I took the flight back to Cali and I stayed for a whole year. Finding a gym. Once we find a place, I stay a whole year here without going back seeing my kids. And I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go back home, pack all my shit, and I see you when I see you. And that was the one thing I would say.
What an act of faith. But, you didn't have any other options.
I don't have it. Because if I were to go back home, I mean, you have your mom, your dad, people, like my cousin will chip some money.
That's not your personality.
No.
I also think that's the other thing about, I don't know, man, sometimes you have big dreams for yourself. It's like I always Like, I'll die before I am ordinary. Fuck you. Like, you may as well kill me. I'm not going to be ordinary.
I'm not gonna be.
I'm going to find my way somehow. I just couldn't stand the idea of being just a regular dude.
But that's what I did. My dad wasn't sending me a check every month, so I started teaching in the gym. It was like $20 for the whole like cardio kickboxing class. I was teaching 19 classes a week, plus cleaning the gym.
Jesus.
Morning at 9.
Exhausting.
Oh, all day. I wouldn't have a time. I don't have a time to fucking jerk off. I will wake up, go train, come back home, eat, literally eat, go straight at 3 p.m., teach all the kids program, then teach a jiu-jitsu class, then go to the pro training class, then wait for a few more classes, clean the gym at the end, come back home. So I can have money to survive here.
So exhausting.
And then whatever I have home, give it to my wife. Give it to my wife so she can also
Of course,
do something.
of course.
This was a whole year.
What a hell year, man. It's like Navy SEAL training shit.
It was hell. Every day I would think, fuck, just go back home and be
just
normal.
give me $100,000, man. Somebody give me some money so I can fucking.
I will-
Did you ever fantasize about that? Like just
Yeah.
like some rich guy's like, here's $100,000, take it easy. It's like bring your family here. Fuck.
Yeah, I fantasize about everything. And then I remember telling my wife all the time when she was like, what are we doing? I'm like, before I go back home and be a loser, and my kids will be like, oh, you left for a year and you did nothing. What you say, I'd rather die. So I stayed the whole year here, get a fight in Australia, and the hardest road that I had, 4 fights I had got canceled. July.
I think about that with Chandler.
Right now.
He just had his like the toughest sparring session. He's like now he's just gonna you wind down, you just move in and can see ya.
But I mean, at least at the spot that he's now in his life,
No,
he's set.
Yeah.
Back then, I was like, okay, my first fight in July, and this is like I fought early February in London, so I got a first fight in July, cancel. They give me a next week.
Why
fight.
was it canceled?
My opponent tests positive for something, Chinese guy. Then, okay, the next week, it was a mistake. We were supposed to fight in some other car in the U.S. This was in Vegas when Nate fought Conor, I believe, the second time.
Yeah.
That was my first fight living in the U.S. Got canceled. 2 weeks later, got canceled. 2 weeks later, Canada, got canceled. I had pressure back home because I needed
And you're
to fight.
training the whole time.
Trained the whole time.
And then what was the fight that you got?
In Australia, finally.
So they fly to Australia.
November. This is in November, so I have a whole year here.
They fly you coach.
Well, my coach and 2 more people.
No, I'm saying, but you fly in economy. You don't fly first class.
Oh,
or,
no.
You're sitting in that little seat for 17 hours.
I was next to the restroom, and back
that's
then,
a good time.
I went straight. Instead of going from here to Australia, I went from here to China, and then to Australia.
Dude.
In the restroom seat.
Dude.
But back then,
fuck you.
But
Anyway.
back then, you don't know better.
No, you don't know better. You're just fighting.
That's all you know.
So now you go and fight. Who did you fight in Australia?
I fought Ning Wen Yu, the same Chinese guy.
Yeah.
That got the fight got canceled 4 times.
Yeah.
Go to Australia, won by decision. That was a. You lost a fight. That was it. I will have to go back home with my head down and tell my family I didn't make it. So you lose a year of your life. You're a loser.
Must have been a great call though. They probably watched it on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was great. So I went back home the week after, and told my wife pack everything. She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Pack everything. We're going back to the U.S." She's like, "But there's a plan? No plan. It was called rolling the dice." I had like $6,000 in my account. I brought them here. I didn't have an apartment. I didn't know how all this shit work in America.
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
$6,000. That'll get you by for like 3 days.
So my manager found me this apartment complex in Santa Ana, which was hell. Homeless people knocking the door, gangsters walking around, people getting shot next door. Like, it was hell. Like, a friend of the brother of one of my friends is a cop, and he's like, dude, people die here every week. And I was like, don't tell that to my wife. Don't ever say that from my wife. My wife was developing all kind of mental problems because she was in a fucked up environment. She would take the kids to the park, three guys with face tattoo playing on the swing, just fucking smoking cigarettes. She was like, never mind, let's go back home. And then now you're like, okay, I found an apartment, the cheapest I can find in California. I was like, now I gotta teach more classes. So I took over all the jiu-jitsu program, all the kids program, and I was teaching 6 a.m., working out at 11, teaching 3 from 6, training again, cleaning, coming back home at 10 p.m. next day again.
Oh my God.
I did that for another year. And then I would take back then.
Poor wife.
Oh yeah. She went through it all with me.
How old were the kids?
Nacho when he come to the US was a baby. He was like just under a year. And then Anna was already like 6. And then now it's like, okay, I need to fight. And back then I wasn't big, so I would took like my next 6 fights were all short notice. All fights you were supposed to lose. I was like, hey.
And you won them.
I lost some, I won some. And then I lost back-to-back in Brazil. So things were getting hard again. And I was like, motherfucker, what I can do now?
Your 135 pounds weight class is a nightmare.
I mean, they put me against Young Lineker on my fifth UFC fight. He was number 3. I was number 110.
So nuts.
They told me like, hey, that's all we have. You want to fight him in Sao Paulo? I say, sure. I don't have nothing to come. I don't have nothing to negotiate. I'm like, if I don't take that fight, I won't make it the next 4 months. So take the fucking fight with this
What'd
guy.
they pay you?
I was probably making 20 something and 20 something back then. So I lost that fight. I have like 20 grand in my account. It was a nightmare. But even the fight that I took in Australia, I was already hurt. I have like bone chips in my elbow. The whole fight, I have a balloon in my fucking elbow. So you have to take the fight to get the surgery to the UFC. It was a fucking nightmare.
Fucking crawling over broken glass.
And the whole time was thinking about it. I need 90.
How many fights you had now?
23, 24.
23
in the
24
UFC.
In the UFC. What a fucking veteran.
And I made it with 6
Bro.
fights. And I'm 31.
Unbelievable. How long you been in the game?
Since 2014.
Unbelievable. 10 years, bro.
10 years.
fucking years.
Fighting fucking killers, bro. That's what I bought a help.
But getting title shots.
I mean, now is the time to get it back.
That's it.
Now it's time to get it back. I mean, I'm fighting in 6 weeks.
Who you fighting?
It's Figueiredo,
That's going to be fun.
Abu Dhabi.
You're fighting in 6 weeks.
Yeah, like Hunter called me. He's like, "How you feeling?" And my reply was, "Who you got?" He's like, "August 3rd is too early for you." I say, "Too early." Fucking, I wake up at 6 this morning, bro. Send the paper. I call Parrillo. I'm like, "Coach, Figueiredo in Abu Dhabi," and he say, "We have options with the UFC." Fuck yeah, let's do it.
And when you hear Figueiredo, do you get nervous? What happens to you? Do you go? You just get excited?
I get excited because
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Dude, I mean,
There's no reason why you can't beat him.
I was so. I mean, I was a
good fight.
a win away from winning the title.
I know.
And I told myself, I was there. I fought for the title.
Yeah.
I came up short, but I think to myself, I want it so fucking bad
Yeah.
that I don't give a fuck. They offered Cejudo first. I said, I take Cejudo.
Yeah.
Call Parrillo, fight in Cejudo. Let's find a few midgets for training camp. And then they called back and they said like, oh, Cejudo, either, I don't know if he didn't took it or
Right.
they have other plans for him. So I say, who's the second option? He's like, oh, his teammate Figueiredo. I say, send the contract.
How do you deal with? Are you wrestling? Are you doing a lot of wrestling?
A lot.
You are, right? Because these fucking Marab and these guys. You got Usmar.
Yeah. He's fighting that day with Quarry.
He's gonna fight Sandhagen, right?
Sandhagen,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
serious.
Serious.
All those guys are serious.
They're all serious.
But the best thing about it, they also all short.
They're short.
It's a different.
And remember,
animal.
Aldo stuffed Marab's takedowns 13 times. So, it's like you can do it.
The thing with Merab, he has great offense, but his ground game, he don't go for chokes. He don't have armbar. So
Right. They'll just control you.
he
They're good
control-
at getting, yeah.
But everybody stand ups with him. But most people, it's afraid of getting tired. I don't give a fuck about
No.
getting tired. You can take me down. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna slice your fucking forehead apart, and then you have to come the second round going like this. I'm like, yes, motherfucker. You better fucking lick the blood out of yourself. But it's also mental.
Yeah.
Like people say, like, "Oh, you don't wrestle." I'm like, I don't wrestle in fight, but in training camp,
You wrestle.
I have D1 kids coming every week.
How do you do against those D1 kids?
They kick my ass the first few rounds, but my cardio is just.
You mean
is
just like
good.
it's hard? It's impossible to deal with their takedowns.
No, they're just fucking extremely fast. Like I have this D1 kid coming.
So fast.
He's 20 years old. He's 5'5", a little tank.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, the way he switches angles,
Yeah.
it's like Lomachenko
Yeah.
in boxing, but
Yeah.
in wrestling.
Yeah.
And we go 5-minute rounds, non-stop, boom, boom, boom. And what I do in between, I bring a jiu-jitsu guy.
So it's just wrestling.
I'm not choking them out. I don't get bitchy like grabbing their neck because I can tap all of them.
Of
if I
course,
want.
of course.
But then you don't growth if you
No,
do that.
you gotta just.
I don't grab the neck. I don't go for arm bars. Like I will get under the legs, like attacking a heel hook, but just to escape.
You're
them.
always practicing. Like you're always in positions where you're always practicing getting out of bad positions.
That's why it's hard to control me.
Fuck,
Like you can take me down, but as of today, I haven't have a guy molding me.
When you do striking, do you work strictly boxing or are you doing MMA, Muay Thai? What are you doing?
Everything.
Everything.
Like Parillo, it's a former pro boxer.
Yeah.
So
Perillo, Jason. Perillo?
Jason, yeah.
He's a good.
I believe he's the best in the
Yeah.
business.
Was he? Who did he teach? He's
Bisping, BJ
That's right.
Penn,
He's
Cyborg,
great.
RDA when RDA was killing at the welterweight.
Yeah.
He had a good lineup. Tito Ortiz back in the
Perillo.
day.
So Perillo was a pro boxer.
He was 9-0, and he had to retire because I think he got blind.
Yeah.
Something he got,
The tetrad. Yeah.
he had a bad injury training.
Yeah,
I think.
Perillo's been around, man.
He's
He's
been
taught
around.
some really good guys.
And what I give him his best asset is how he can get in your mind and make you believe in everything. Because a lot of coaches tell you a lot of things,
Yeah.
but they don't mean it or they haven't do it. So
He's done it.
he's done it.
Who do you think? Who are the top three? There was a question that was running around. Who are the three guys who have had the best careers in the UFC?
Coaches wise,
I'm talking about fighters.
I would say John Jones #1.
John Jones. He's had the best career. See, for me, he's got so much controversy. I think it's been hard.
Well, leaving away the mistakes outside the cage,
Yeah.
going on.
Well, as far as the best, it's John Jones, right? I mean,
Yeah.
to me,
You have to put Demetrius Johnson right below him,
Dimitri Johnson. I never thought of Dimitri Johnson,
but they have like 15 title fights.
dude. You're right.
But you know what's it's also
125.
it-
Here's my only caveat to that.
It's a weak division. We have to be honest with that.
I'm just being, I have so much respect for him. He's amazing, but you're right. Like, there are a couple things going on. One is he's got a regular size head. So, you can't take risks. You fight differently when somebody can knock you out with a jab or a right hand,
Yeah.
right? It's just different. And, 125, it's just a different thing.
And if we're honest, and I have few 25ers that are my good friends and
Sure.
I love them, but you can make your debut on this Saturday and you won 2 fights and you're in the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took me
Yeah.
15 fights
Yes.
to barely break to top 15 in the UFC.
Yes.
So it's like, yes, it is a little weaker, but he was the most talented. That when he put Raybor with the suplex and the
incredible.
armbar,
He's
that
incredible.
was crazy. And just a few weeks ago, he just won as a
Still
Bravo
winning.
against fucking
I know. That
200
giant
pound-
guy.
And also, if you put in perspective, that giant guy is also older, so he probably got a little. But still,
Still
you have to give him that respect. I would say, Prime BJ Penn, he did amazing things. Anderson Silva, GSP, had great
GSP
careers.
for sure. Anderson Silva for sure. Phenomenal careers.
If we keep Jose Aldo 45,
Oh, dude.
Motherfucker.
People forget about how great he was.
he was great.
I mean, you're talking about he had a 9-year run, dude. And by the way, still doing it.
Still doing it.
Still doing
I mean,
it at
he-
a high level.
he-
Look,
he-
great his
he beat
last
him by
fight.
decision.
Unbelievable. He's still doing it. He's just like,
I
you
mean,
know.
Paris.
God, there's so many great. I mean,
That's what is hard. When
I think
people,
Dustin Poirier's had a great career.
He has a great career.
Yeah.
He has an interim belt.
Great career.
I mean, he has a great career. Max
Yeah.
Holloway, great career. I mean, when he came,
My thing is, I always look at who's taken the least amount of damage, made the most amount of money, and had the most flawless record. Like GSP, great. He took some damage later on.
but also, I mean, early on too.
Yeah.
Matt Serra knocked him out.
Yes,
Matt
yes,
Hughes
yes, Matt
submitted
Hughes,
him.
yeah.
But he come back.
Yeah.
I mean, the
He
way
was a genius. He was just one of those strategic.
Cain Velasquez on his prime, crazy career.
So Luke Rockhold told me that. Luke Rockhold, who was a killer, said there was a time when Cain Velasquez was beating the shit out of Daniel Cormier, Luke Rockhold, everybody at AKA. He said he was the baddest man on the planet.
He was.
He never got tired. And he would kick you. He would punch you. He'd put his head in your chest and just bang on you. He'd take you down.
Quick.
He was just impossible.
I mean, when people get to that, like, oh, this is the best ever. I mean, the guy just won the belt like 3 fights ago. Like, today, you won 2 times, and it's like, best ever. I'm like,
no.
I mean,
calm down.
Let's put the paper on. I mean, if we go like that, Fedor comes before Kane. Yes, he never had the chance to come to UFC.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Because he decided to fight Sambo and not fully sign to the UFC. I respect that. And also, the other thing I will say, in Russia, the government supports you. So you don't really need that UFC money in Russia.
Right.
Because I just heard like Putin gave Khabib like 13 million in real estate after he beat Conor. I'm like,
more than that.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Khabib's a very wealthy man.
That's why he retired.
Because the Arabs also had him,
That's why he retired.
Yeah. And, Khabib, to be, again, I have so much respect, incredible. And, like, a historic figure in the UFC as far as, like, what he did for Russia, Dagestan, what he did for all that. And he had a flawless record, and I have so much respect. But you have to take into account that a lot of the guys he fought weren't wrestlers, weren't even grapplers. And so yes, he was just very good at taking you down, controlling your legs, and pounding on you. And it was before those guys. It was like before those guys probably had seen that Greco/Sambo/wrestling, that Russian style, that chain wrestling, those transitions, the things that you just haven't seen before.
But he didn't. He had 2-3 defenses.
Yeah,
you're not even in the conversation. If we put Anderson, GSP.
Thank you.
Demetrius.
That's how I feel.
You're not even there.
That's it. And John Jones. Don't forget John Jones.
John Jones. I mean, John Jones has that one DQ loss, which that's not a loss.
No.
You're not even in the conversation.
I mean,
I know all the bots are gonna start going fuck you in Russian. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you.
No, I love Khabib. I mean, I love him as an example, as a human being. I love him.
But if we're talking about belt,
yeah,
BJ did it more than you.
Just in terms of like if you look at the competition and the longevity and stuff like that, it's not controversial to say that it raises a question. It just raises a question.
It's just social media.
Yeah,
creates a monster of you without, like, they were putting on 35. These conversations do not start without Cruz on.
Dude,
on top.
Dominic Cruz, phenomenal.
Before you talk about all the new champions,
I agree with you.
Talk about this guy.
I forgot. And by the way, you couldn't be more right. He was so unique. I remember we were watching him. I don't know how long ago. This is literally 15 years ago. But we were like, this guy, you got to watch this guy, Dominic Cruz. He's doing this stuff that we don't see. Just jump to the side. He would watch boxers. He'd do this weird shit that nobody was doing. His striking was totally unorthodox. And he was a fucking world beater. Champion.
Between him and Dillashaw, they make the division strong.
Yep.
Yes, Dillashaw tests positive, and that takes a lot away from you.
Or whatever.
Because you don't
I
even
love
know.
TJ.
I know, me too. But you don't know. You just don't know. It was a bad thing to test positive.
Okay, there was some doping going on. All right, but he was a great fighter.
He was a great fighter. But without those two, this division don't start.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't start because who was there before that? Henan Barrow did something with the interim belt, but they never gave him the real belt. Maybe just because he don't speak English. And they keep it at a lower pay. He's living in Brazil. You change that money to reales. You're like, I'm cool. But now everything goes, you win one fight. Oh, best ever. But go fuck yourself. There's better guys that haven't won the belt.
Yeah.
So it's like, and they're doing more.
I always liked just true fighters too, who there are athletes who fight, and then there are just fighters to their core, like Nick Diaz. I love Nick Diaz.
You have to put him up there too.
I love that dude. You have to.
I mean,
he never got knocked out, never put on the canvas, would fight you. It's like, hey, listen, with John Daly, he's got that left hook. Just stay away from that. How about this? I'm going to let him hit me on left hook, and then I'm going to knock him out with a left hook. Fuck you.
That's crazy.
He was just one of those guys.
That is strike for fight. When he fought Cyborg's husband, the other Cyborg, he was chopping his leg, He was destroyed. He tapped him out later on.
I know.
And get on top of the cage and went, fuck you to Chris Cyborg. She didn't do nothing to you, but you just go, fuck you, bitch.
he was just a gangster.
Angry dog.
Just what? And he said that he would have to like hate people. He'd have to hate. And when he beat Frank Shamrock, like at first when he was just like this, he was like fuck. Like, it was a fight for him. It was serious business. And when he beat him, he reached out and he goes, "Get up, you're a legend." It's like, now we're done. It's all good.
I do the same thing. I get in a mean state.
Oh, you have to, right?
I'm like,
you have to
I
hate
hate
him.
you want to take everything away from my kid's table. If the referee throw a knife, I'm gonna got it first and fucking put it in your mouth.
It's a fight.
It's a
you guys
fight.
are fighting. It's
That's
not
what-
boxing. It's not taekwondo. It's not.
I'm going back to what you say with the NFL. Like you can box really good, but then if you don't wrestle really good, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You can grapple really hard, but if you can take him down, you're fucked. So it's like, and we don't have enough season. They
No.
just call you. It's
Yeah.
like, yo, you want this big opportunity? You say, fuck yeah, I want it.
Right.
I mean, when you have enough season, it's almost like there's a plan. You do a little bit of this, you do a little bit of that. The circuits they do, how they train, like when they're running and pushing things, it's almost like all set. Who can get better at that? Yes, there's legends out there. You got Elderman, you got Tom Brady.
No, but I don't know if they still do it, but they were so ruthless. I was with a friend of mine who was a high-level guy, and I remember he got a call. He was at my house, and he was the guy. And they said, "You're fighting." He was like number 2. I think he was ranked 2 or 3. And they said, "You're fighting." And he goes, I can't lose the weight. I mean, I don't know how am I going to suck the weight? You give me 2 weeks or whatever. And they were like, "We'll cut you." It wasn't that, somebody said it. It was like Silver or the old Booker or someone said, "Well, we'll cut him." And I remember going, "But you're the fucking number 3 guy right now. You're like literally in contention." I was like, I couldn't believe it.
It happens like that. I mean, when I fought Brad Pickett, I was coming off elbow surgery after the Australia fight. So
I remember that fight.
I've been 8 weeks just doing therapy, just trying to get this arm to like move from here to here. And then I was also broke. I have to like keep money drain. And I was like, I had probably like 5,000
Dude,
in my
that's
account.
stress. That's stress.
It's heavy with 2 kids. Like back then, I would get.
How do you
I
even sleep? You're just like, ugh.
You just fucking say fuck it. Even if I have to do a bad thing, I have to do it. And back then, I would have fights with my wife because she would buy organic shit, and I was like, "That's more expensive. Don't buy that. Get the fucking
Dustin Poirier said that. Dustin Poirier said most of my time was like we were taking things out of the grocery store. I mean, out of the grocery cart. It's too expensive.
That's a true fact. Like we were going to like the cheapest market and be like, no, but I don't give a fuck. We don't have the money right now. You can't buy organic blueberries. Get the fucking GMO fucking farm made by what's his name?
Whatever it is.
That fucking asshole. Yeah, get those ones for now. But because
You see the thing on organic farming though?
Dude.
It's all bullshit. We've been eating a dick. It's like this. Like it's grown in the same fucking field. Shut up. Now I don't want organic. Fuck organic. I want the Bill Gates shit. Give it to me. I'm not getting duped.
Yeah, that's the fucked up part. When they told you it's clean and it's not, that's a big lie.
Right.
That's a big lie. And that's fucked up because you're spending more money
Of course.
and you're eating the same chemicals.
scam.
Might as well.
Yeah.
At least fucking Bill Gates does it right. He tells you, I'm killing you, but it's cheaper.
But it's cheaper.
Clean 15, dirty dozen. You know what that is?
Yeah, but I don't buy it.
You don't buy that?
No, that's Instagram shit that you see. My wife's like, "That's a clean 15." I'm like, fucking come on, man, just buy everything. I don't care anymore.
Like
now.
the other day, I was in the
It's
grocery
like, there's too
store.
many pesticides, and it gets into the thing. You ever see the guy? The greatest thing. I don't know if it's on camera, but there was a guy who there was a huge thing about they were spraying for fruit flies on the orange groves. It's California. And there were all these protests about this new pesticide. And it was dangerous and everything else. And the CEO, think about this, held a news conference. And he goes, and there was a glass. And he started the news conference like, "This is the stuff everybody's worried about. This is the stuff that everybody's worried about ingesting." Hold on for a sec.
He's dead.
He drank it and then finished the press conference. Come on. That's badass. Did you ever see that?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Monsanto one where he said he would drink the glyphosate? And they're
I believe
"Oh,
it.
We have it here. Drink
Yeah.
it." And he's like, "Oh, interview's over.
Oh, really? Okay.
You saw the one of the politician in India on the Holy River?
On the Ganges?
You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
it's
about?
called the Ganges.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this politician went like, "No, God and blah 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 will save us."
Oh, yeah.
He grabbed a piece of the river with I remember it was a shit flooring by. He grabbed it. He's like, he said whatever the bread is out there. He drink it.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah, he
He
died
went to
of-
the hospital.
he died of- he got dysentery.
Yeah, he was.
Giardia, dysentery. Everything lives in the Ganges. The Ganges is the dirtiest fucking place at the river on the planet.
People find dead humans.
Of
in that
course,
shit.
dude.
Bodies
Yeah, we
floating
saw a
down.
dead body floating down the Ganges.
Oh, dude, the Ganges? The
You used to
Ganges is
swim that thing,
basically
right?
a giant. It's a giant. It's like everybody's bathing in there. They're
John-
just dumping their shit
John
in
got
there.
baptized in there.
Get baptized.
You did?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this guy was like a holy leader. We were staying in an ashram for a project. And this guy's like, let me baptize. I was like, all right, whatever. It's a
Yeah,
life
yeah.
experience.
He
Let me
fucked
get
you,
let me get
probably.
fucking styes in my eye and an ear infection.
Put his
And,
finger in my ass. It was
oh, that's weird. Got to wear these black panties. Tie your hair in
Yeah,
ponytails. You
I
fuck.
knew it.
In piggy tails. Yeah, they are. Arch your back, lick your lips. This is important. That's how you get closer to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely brought you to God.
Yeah,
The gay one, but
Yeah.
he brought you to God.
that's it. That's it.
I mean, yeah, with the food is a trip, but going back to that thing, I told my mother, like, dude, I don't have money, I need to fight. And then they said, yeah, let me call. Sean Shelby come like, yeah, do you want to fight Brad Pickett in his retirement fight in 10 days? And I haven't been in the gym in 8 weeks. So I say, sure, I take it. When I get to London, I remember one of the UFC guys grabbed me and said, hey, don't worry about this fight. Win or lose, we won't cut you. And I was like, oh, you guys brought me to lose.
Yeah, you guys also thought about that.
Yeah, no, they did thought about it. So I have to cut a shitload of weight because where you went, I went like over 20 pounds in 10 days. So I get to London and I was doing the same thing I was doing the Ultimate Fighter. 1 egg in the morning, 1 egg at night with asparagus. And my weight was just stuck. And I sauna every day. When we get to the weighing day on Thursday, they put me in the sauna and I was just like dying, just fucked up.
No water, nothing.
No water for like day and a half. And now I get to 140 and I was like, oh, that's me.
Look at that shit.
And I was like, we fought at 140 catchweight because one of his teammates walked by me and he's like, dude, that guy is fuck. And then they called and said, hey, let's do a catchweight. They offered the catchweight
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yep.
because it was his retirement fight.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
he
can box.
could-
That
oh,
kid
he
could
can box
fucking-
good.
Yeah, he can really box. Great boxer. Look at that shit, though. Look at that. Oh, knee. Oh, damn.
How are you doing going into the third round, Chito?
I was tired, but I was
Yeah, but
I-
look
I
at
wa-
look at how athletic you are there.
I was so needed of a win.
Hey!
I was so needed of
Dude,
a win.
oh, that's so. What a fucking. What a great win, man. What a great win.
This is the win that paid for the surgery of my daughter.
Oh my God, dude.
That's the win that
That's
actually
incredible.
saved my career in a way because I used the win I used the win bonus and the performance of the night to do Anna surgery. Right after this fight, we did it,
It's great.
and it was like I was like
What'd they pay you? Can you say?
it was it was like back then was like 32 total for win and fight, and plus a 50K. Of,
Okay. So that's good. That's good. Yeah.
And when
Goes
the
a
money
long
hit the
way.
account, I pay everybody, and I was like, "What's left?" I called the doctor, the surgeon. I was like, "Hey man, I have the money now." I wire every penny I had.
You didn't have any insurance.
No,
You can't get insurance for that.
no insurance for that.
And
So
the UFC won't pay for it. They don't.
no, they don't. And I sent. I remember after I paid this, I kept like, probably what was that, like, $3,000 in the account. But I was like, fuck it. I made it. I did what I was supposed to do for
Yeah,
my daughter.
man, huge.
So I grabbed the whole money and was like this, boom, take it. And then I paid for it. They did the surgery, and then they sent another bill. Oh, anesthesia and hospital and blah blah is not in there. And I went like, hold a second,
They'll kill you.
I don't have money. So yeah, I just make few calls and figured it out how to pay and then pay back later. But that fight was the one that changed my
What'd
life.
you fight
because
after that?
After that, I believe
So many fights. Dude.
I beat Bryan Callen. I submit him.
Fuck. So many fights.
That was like 15 fights ago. I don't even have tattoos on me. But you have to back then. I said, hey, you want to fight this guy? I said, sure. He might kill you. I know. We all know that. But fuck it. You have to do it. It's that or you're fucked.
Jesus.
Like Brian, what was it like for you coming up in comedy? Like Chito tells all these stories about his grind and his struggle. Like, Do you have any comparable stories about just kind of?
I mean, for me, it was always a grind because again, there's no league. You just have to constantly, and it's gotten worse now. It's like you have to. There's no second place. You either are the guy they choose for the audition or you're not. That's what I always say. You're gonna get 1,000 no's and you're gonna get one yes. In my whole career, people think I'm successful. I got 7 yeses, 7, and you just hold on to them. I didn't know podcasts were gonna work, but I didn't know that I was gonna get a TV show. Like you get a TV show, it get canceled. You get a pilot, it gets canceled. You're always waiting for the next job. Stand up is the one thing. I started to see that stand up and podcasting had some like I could count on it. You can't count on acting. You're just an actor. See what happens. Now you're the only one who can make that get that part with the auditions, and you're always auditioning for something, and you get the show. Oh, and okay, so it's a Netflix show, and they give you 10 episodes. You can't do anything for the rest of the year. Okay, so you got 10 episodes, and if you're really, really lucky, they'll give you 20 grand an episode, 25 grand an episode. Do that math. 250, it's a lot of money, right? Yeah, okay, but the problem is that has to last you in Los Angeles for the entire year. Oh, and by the way, it's 250. Let's take taxes away, and let's take your manager, and let's take your agent away, and let's take your lawyer away, and then you have a publicist. This is what happens to actors. So at the end of the day, they see a third of that money, literally. So now they're walking around with 75, 100 grand. You're living a middle-class lifestyle at best. And then you're trying to do commercials, but a lot of times you're under contract. I saw that shit. I saw successful actors who were broke. I saw successful actors who couldn't afford to go and do a play somewhere because they had to hustle. I mean, successful.
That's
and I was like, fuck that. I saw directors who'd be directing a huge movie, it wouldn't do well, and they were put in movie jail. And they didn't work for 5 years. And I was like, oh shit, that's how this game is. Oh, wow. And then I watched sitcoms, and I had friends who were rich sitcom directors and producers. I mean, rich, because there would be a season, and they would always be just on a rotation. You make a fortune, and then sitcoms went away because reality TV came in, and they were all out of work forever.
That's correct.
And I was like, oh, dude, but you spend $1 million a year just to break even because you have 3 houses and 2 nannies and all those. I remember my friend looked at me and he was like, I have to make $1 million to break even. I spend $1 million a year. I was like, on what? He goes, just stuff. I got that house. I got you got your wife. And I was like, I ain't gonna do this shit. And then I'd see them on their phones, on their Blackberries before the iPhone, going like this. My movie's not trending well. I'm like, but it's with the biggest stars I know. Nobody's going to see it.
That's heavy.
Looking at me like this, like they saw a ghost. That's when I remember Rogan goes, I'm quitting acting. I was like, are you crazy? He goes, yeah, I'm just going to do I'm going to start a podcast. I don't know what that was. And I'm going to just do stand-up. And, that's why I started doing
Rolling
it.
the dice.
I don't want to, because now, so the thing about actors is they're always super nice and they never say anything bad. They don't tell the truth. That's why politically, they don't say any shit about politics. Because you cannot be on the wrong side, because what happens is you won't work. So you've got to always just be like, yes, gender rights. I mean, it's outrageous. Like gender affirming care for minors. It's so, they can finish their sentences. It's like being automatons because they're terrified to step out of it because they won't work. And that's the only option they have.
They will put them in the freezer if they speak up.
You're done, bro. You're done. So you can't be honest. You can't live a real life. You have to just be like, you better post a black square for the Black Lives Matter marches. You better. That makes a big difference too. Thank God you posted a black square. Oh man, now all those black people can be liberated and all those black people won't be killed by cops. Thank God for you, actor, who posted a black square. You're so brave. Eat a dick. Eat all the dicks. But everybody had to do it. I didn't do it. I was like, oh, because I got my bills paid. You got to be a pirate shit. You have to be a pirate shit. You got to have your own fucking podcast. You have to have your own stand-up. You have to have your own thing. And that's what's great about social media. It's a grind. I got to stay relevant at my age, but I'd rather have that shit. I did one video. I got 75,000 followers off of one video. It got 30 million views. We never used to be able to do that. That's crazy. I'm getting stopped at the airport for the videos I post on Instagram, not for anything else. That's the reality of it. At least you have At least you have some ability to make a living on your own. At least you can be an entrepreneur and you have some recourse.
I mean, you have the platform out there.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's easier.
I mean, yeah, but it's way better than live with a sword in your back.
Dude.
It's like you have to act like a little fucking sick puppy.
Bro, that's the
And
problem.
the list goes on and on because once they want you, I mean, yeah, I can live that life.
No. And once, that's the thing. And they've done a very good job of controlling you by threatening your livelihood. You got kids, man, and somebody says something about you and you can't work anymore as an actor. It's really serious because you are done. You see Kevin Spacey crying on camera. I don't know much about that story, Kevin Spacey, but I know he's been acquitted in 2 courts, in civil and criminal. I don't know what this. Didn't follow the details of it, but that dude can't pay he's lost his house. He was the biggest, most highest paid actor there was. He's broke. He's in debt by millions because he hasn't worked in 7 years because he's an actor. And if he doesn't act, and what is acting? It's a collaborative process. So if Hollywood, doesn't want to work with you, you can go work in a restaurant maybe.
There's no the second league for
man.
Hollywood. It's either you're there or you're not.
You're there, you're done. So I didn't want to be a slave to that shit. But it's always a grind. It's still a grind.
How do you think stand-up has kept itself out of that?
Because part of it, I give credit to the clubs, because the clubs are old school motherfuckers, and I love them, the owners. But also, you can rent a theater on your own. There are always theaters out there, and they need the business. If you have an audience, and the audience, if you build it, they will come. So if you have an audience, that theater's going to make money. Everybody's going to make money, right? So I remember they were all writing Louis C.K. off, and I was like, he's a pirate ship, bro. He's got a lot of fans, a lot. And they kind of are like, what do he do? Jerk off in front of some girls? That guy's funny as shit. He's a weird dude. That makes that's fine.
It makes sense.
And yeah. And then he went on Grammy, and fucking he's back to making. He sells out every theater he does. He's making millions and millions of dollars. But all the media was like, he's gonna have to go to France, and he'll never work again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hold my beer, bitch.
Hold my beer, bitch.
I mean, they did it to Shane too.
They did it to Shane, and he was like, yeah, we were the first people to defend him on our podcast. We were like, fucking come on our podcast anytime you want, dude. Fuck you guys.
I mean, he's back to the same show that canceled him.
He's killing it.
He's the best.
But I'm just saying, like that's the kind of difference. But also, as stand-ups, we never made money. Like you never made money. You had to do a club. You'd make a weekend. But then social media came, and you could build these crazy followings. Then podcasts came. And then you pretty soon you're more famous off a podcast. My acting agent, I was doing a TV show. I was on a sitcom, a very popular one, and I was making money. I was making like $35,000 an episode. It was a lot of money, And then he was like, "And we'll do this and that." And I go, "Hey, bro, I make more than that on my podcast, by far." Back then, I was making And he was like, "What?" Nobody had any idea. They were like, "You're making how much on a podcast? What is a podcast?" They didn't even know. So we snuck in, but it also, you build an audience worldwide. Like you can go to Australia, you can go to Ireland, you can go to the Middle East and make your money. Whoever thought that was possible,
Do you see the pendulum kind of swinging back towards comedy being just funny again?
Look at the Tom Brady roast. It was a bunch of dudes saying crazy shit. And I was like, that's outrageous. I know, bro. Hold my beer. And I'm gonna make $10 million this year on the road because everybody's laughing at me. So, eat a dick.
This is gonna be the platform for everything I'm doing next year. You see what Tony Hinkley, they told him right before, hey, you only have a minute, you can move, and you cannot say these things. He went, good luck with that. He said, I'm gonna take all my chances against you, and I'm gonna say, he was saying crazy shit.
I know, and we love him for it. I mean, it was incredible. And Tony is a guy who's been grinding for 12 years or so. Tony's been grinding in obscurity. Tony's been opening for Rogan. He's been trying to get that Kill Tony off the ground for a long time. In fact, when I was at Rogan, I was doing Rogan. I'm about to do him I'm doing him this Saturday, but I was doing him I think maybe, God, it was probably 6 months ago. And Tony was like, please come do Kill Tony on Monday. And I was like, I can't. I got to go back to LA. Oh, well, yeah. Too bad I didn't do that then because he's selling out Madison Square Garden with Kill Tony. It's the biggest show in the world right now.
It's fun as fuck. I was watching a clip yesterday. This a big chick was talking about something. Oh, I love being roasted by you, and he replied, "Yeah, I roast a pig here and there." And I was just like, "You motherfucker!" It's fun. Like
He's so good.
I feel like that's the best way to throw a joke when you're just like talking shit to
Oh,
someone.
dude, yeah.
Hearing like
it's
4 guys
powerful.
with him, it's so fucking.
It's
fun.
powerful. But he's great, and who knew, right? Who knew? You never know who's going to be who's going to hit it out of the park and be a superstar. And that thing, Kill Tony, that show, I got a show that's coming up that's going to be really good. I'm pitching all I'm going to say is it's going to be the shit. And I'm going to have a place for fighters in it. You'll be one of the first calls, trust me. You'll be one of the first guys I call. It's going to be good, man.
I talk mad shit there, bro.
Yeah.
That'll be fun as fuck.
Yep, it's going to be good. What time is it? Guys, I have to train. I have jiu-jitsu.
You training people?
I have to go train. I have to go teach a jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, kung fu class. You know what I'm saying, guys?
You gotta go make some people better in life.
This is my wife. I gotta go raise my kids. I'm not qualified to teach shit, dude. I'm rolling a little bit.
You are?
Yeah, I'm back to rolling. I missed it
That's
too much.
good. It's good.
And I
to
still
train.
box, but I'm not sparring. I get too dizzy. I get hit.
Yeah, don't get hit. That's not good.
Boxing, you can't play boxing. You're gonna get hit.
Yeah, roll. Stick to rolling.
Rolling's way
You
better.
were healthy. You've been in shape.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you don't
I
want.
said that to Shab. I go, I'm getting dizzy. He goes, yeah, how much you getting paid, dude?
Yeah, that's true. Don't box.
It's too hard.
It's fucked up.
You get caught too easily. It's like I just wasn't,
Yeah.
into it.
If you're not making money in fighting, don't spar.
No,
And I have a hyperbaric chamber at home.
you do.
Yes.
How often do you spar?
Twice a week.
How often do you go hard?
Every time.
Every fucking
We
time.
don't touch butt.
Dude,
We go full speed. I
damn.
love it, yeah. You have to. You don't learn how to go in the NASCAR or Formula 1 by going at 60 miles per hour.
And you're wearing 16-ounce gloves at least?
14s.
Still
because
getting hit?
You still get hit. Headgear, shin guards, knee
Sucks.
pads. But that's why my eyes are great. I'm able to see almost everything.
That's right. That's exactly
You
right.
have to. You have to get in the far line.
You have to.
I know for a minute they go like kind of like, no, sporting is an old thing.
No, it's not.
It's not.
You have to fight. Look at Sean Strickland. He's so good because he's always sparring.
Yeah, you have to sport. And then just make sure everything around your life is clean. Your food, the
Yeah.
hyperbaric, and
All that shit.
go to time on bed and you'll be fine.
What are you better at, striking or jiu-jitsu? You're a very complete fighter.
I'm pretty well rounded.
Yeah, you
I
are.
grapple a lot.
At your weight class, you have to be a black belt at everything.
You have to.
You
Just
just-
too much speed.
It's nuts.
Too
You
much going
guys are
on.
good at everything. It's
You
like
gotta clinch. You gotta do everything. That's why I run so much. Is I can be sharp all the time. Big oxygen tank and
damn, man.
fuck it, just let it go.
All right, my brother. That
Thanks
was
for
good.
coming by, man.
Anytime.
Appreciate you.
Anytime. I got you. Now I'm nervous. Now you're gonna be fighting. I hate watching my friends fight. I get nervous.
I feel you, but I'm gonna make it right this time.
Doesn't matter. You're always a winner. I told you that. Didn't I text you after
You
the
did.
Sean O'Malley thing? I was like, you're a killer. Doesn't matter. It's very special. You're very special. You fought for a title. Your grandkids are gonna go, my grandfather fought for a title. Hopefully my grandfather's a champion. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Do you ever think about Dustin Poirier? You ever think, oh, he wasn't a champion? Do you ever think about that? No. You just think about that motherfucker getting better and better and the grit. And now he is a great American figure. Dustin Poirier is a guy, when you think about character, when you think about grit, when you think about a man, when you think about somebody who kept improving, when you think about just a winner, you think of who? Dustin Poirier,
Facts.
right? And you're not going, yeah, but I never did that. Fuck you.
You're right,
He's
bro.
an example. He's a more important example in many ways for me.
That's true.
So-
That's true. That's why I keep going. But
Yeah.
you're right.
That's it. So
Thank you, brother.
you got it, bro.
Appreciate you.
Max.
What's the name of this podcast?
Chito Vera.